What is up, everybody? Leone here today. Today is vlog day. Um, just gonna talk. So this is not a review video. We're gonna go over what I like to do. This is only the second vlog I've ever done, but what I like to do is go over all my last few items I reviewed. Not all of them, but the majority of the last few items I've done this month. And just kind of touch base and give you guys where they're at, if the review has changed, if I dislike it more, like it more, yada yada yada, stuff like that. I would like to talk about what's coming, what I got my eye on, and if there's any news slash drama. Yeah, that's my vlog. I'm gonna try to keep this one a little bit shorter. It's still freaking freezing over here. Since the last time I shot this video, which was about a week, last time I shot a video, it was a week ago. It hasn't got above freezing. I should say it hasn't got above like 10 degrees out here in Illinois. It's been brutal. I feel bad for the people that live in Boston because you guys are getting nailed with snow after snow right now. I see everything on the news. Kind of crazy. So it's not that bad here, but it is freezing and everything's just frozen over. It's just miserable. We're stuck inside. Besides going to work, I don't go anywhere. I've been home with my vapes and my wife, obviously, and yeah, it's been shitty. So I feel bad for anybody who has it worse than me, but it just sucks. What else has been going on? Not a whole lot, you know. Same here, always working and doing vlogs, doing videos, and just chilling. Today is Friday, thank God. No work tomorrow, no work Sunday. We're supposed to get some more snow tomorrow. Yippee, yippee, yippee. But yeah, anyways, not about any of that. Let's see. Let's start with, let's go back and look at some of the things we previously looked at. Gotta stop saying, some of the previous things I looked at. Let's see. IPV, I think the mini. I think we did this one a while ago. I think a month ago now. Maybe a little longer than a month ago. Happy to report it is still functioning fine. And actually, if you remember the video, I said the button was getting stuck. The fire button here. I'm not having that problem anymore. It may have worked its way out. I'm not sure what happened. I cannot get that button to lock in there anymore. No matter how hard I jam it in there. So, yeah, the problem is gone. So one of my big negatives with this was that button problem. That's done. It's not doing it. So, honestly, without that issue, it's a pretty awesome device. I've still had no issues. I've heard some people had some issues with this guy. Me personally, no. No problems whatsoever. Just that button getting stuck and it stopped doing that, so it's been pretty good. Got this in my Russian 91. Got it in. I got some Jimmy the Juice Man in my Russian 91% on the IPV Mini at 12 watts. Just great. So yeah, the IPV Mini still great. They are coming, or they have come out with the 70 watt version of that. It's the exact same unit, but with 70 watts. I'm not going to review that one, nor do I have any intentions of getting one of those, just because it's the same device, just more power. They haven't changed anything on it but the power capabilities. Pioneer for You really rushes on putting shit out. They have put out so many. They have an IPv4 coming out too now, which I actually think is out. I was looking at it on one website. It looks intriguing, but I don't know if I will pull the trigger on that. I have it pulled up here. What are they selling it for? Wow. One site's got it for 80 bucks, which is a steal. This one site, if you guys haven't heard of vapenw.com, check them out. I think I reviewed something of theirs. I found them out through eBay, and they just have really good prices. I mean, really good prices. Everything's really cheap. I've seen that IPv4 for $100 on another site, and then that site had it for $20 less. So they seem to have everything cheaper, but they do charge tax, so that may be why they're able to lower their prices a little more. But yes, there's IPv4, which is 100 watt. It kind of looks like this, but a little bit bigger. It's kind of a box style 100 watt device, but it's not really. It's kind of a slender looking box. It's industrial looking, if you ask me. And then, like I said, they have the 70-watt version of the IPV Mini if you're interested in that. I just think 70 watts on an 18650 battery, you wouldn't get much life out of it if you are using it at 70 watts, it is. But yeah, this thing is still rocking the house down. Still great. What else did we review? Oh yeah, the K-Fun V4. I think this K-Fun V4 is not doing as well as the original K-Fun was doing. That's just my opinion, obviously. But I haven't heard as much hype on this device as I did when the original K-Fun came out. I haven't heard as much hype. I've been impressed by it. I'm still enjoying this thing. I still like the looks of it, and I've had only one issue come up since the review. And somebody did mention it to me in a comment, and I was like, no, that's not happening to me. And then, of course, a week later, it started happening to me. And what's happening, let me get it off here real quick. What's happening is when I unscrew the airflow ring here, let me see if I can get some focus. Focus, Danielson, focus. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so you would unscrew this here to close off your airflow control, like I'm doing here, closing off my airflow control. And what I'll actually have happen sometimes is it'll be juice in between here, in between the airflow knurled section and this base here. There'll be a good amount of juice that I'll have to wipe off. Every time I open and close this, I'll get juice on there. Now when I close it, yeah, I don't know if you can see, you probably can't see that, but there is juice on there. Yeah, I got juice on it. So, ow. So every time you open and close that juice flow control, you will get juice, and I always find myself wiping it off. I mean, it's not leaking like excessively, it's just like it's wet. I know there's juice on it, and I always wondered what the juice was coming from. Now I realized it thanks to one of my viewers' comments that that's happening. It kind of sucks, but it's not that big of a deal. I mean, I had juice come out of the fill hole sometimes on this one, on the bottom screw fill hole on the old K-Funs. I had that happen with all of them, so not a huge deal breaker. Something's wrong with my focus again. There we go. So that's one of the only really negative that came out of this, besides for it being wobbly. But I had a friend purchase one recently. He said his didn't wobble, and it was a tobacco version also. So they may have fixed that. But anyways, like I said, I've had no issues besides that leaking. It's still great. I personally like it. I personally like the look. I think it vapes great. I got it on the Vapor Shark DNA 40 right now at 11.5 watts. And it's great satisfying vape. I just really like this. If you like the old K-Fun, I'm still saying you would love this K-Fun. I just don't think it got as much popularity as the old one. Maybe being because it's not a, straight up 22mm device. It's got that bulge, but you can use the M-Tank if you want that straight 22mm looking device. I don't know, I just haven't heard much about it really, to be honest with you, but in my opinion, it's still a standout, and it's still a great rebuildable tank to have. I've been meaning to get another one black to put with my Sigelei here. Maybe put a sub-ohm build and get the sub-ohm kit for it. They do have sub-ohm kits for it, and they do have replacement O-ring kits for it if you do want them, because they didn't come with them. I know now H Cigar is making one. A couple other people are making them too, so they're being made. I just haven't heard a lot about them. And well, since we have this device in hand, I guess, let's talk about the Vapor Shark DNA 40. Like I said in another video, I didn't mean to make it sound like I hated the Vapor Shark DNA 40, because I don't. I really do like this. I use this every day. I love the size of this thing. The majority, it's just comfortable. It's small. 18650 battery, built-in charging. Nice fire button. Nice adjustment buttons. The skin on it's even great. I have come across one nitpicky issue. But I've heard this about all the Vapor Sharks, even before they had the RDNA versions, when they had the minis only. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not, but it's very, like I said, it's very minor. But it happens with use, I guess. Alright, you can see how the coating is coming off here on top. You can see all these speckled spots, especially around the 510 connection over here. Let me see if I can clean that up a bit. Yeah. Yeah, so you can see the paint just all around the 510 especially is coming off. Then there's like spots everywhere on the top here. These are not dirt spots. These are actual paint spots, even on the side here, all the way on this bottom edge here. You can see some paint coming off there. Yeah, so yeah, it's been getting, and I'm being careful with this actually. This one never leaves the house. I think it's left the house once, but, and it really, God. It's never left the house but once, and I pretty much use it with this K-Fun exclusively. The sad thing about it is I really don't use the temp control feature at all, which I had a feeling. Focus. Likes to unfocus every once in a while. I don't know why. So yeah, I haven't really used the temp control feature, so that really was kind of just, I don't know. I like simplicity, and that wasn't simple for me. I mean, building with nickel wire is still a pain in my ass. Still prefer Kanthal builds. And I mean, I put my Subtank on here and stuff like that, but otherwise, I've used it with the K-Phone at around 11 to 15 watts, and I've really not gone past it. So really, in my eyes, it's a waste of money because I'm not using it for what it's intended for. But it's a solid, reliable device, and that's what I wanted. A solid, reliable device that I could use every day, every night, because this is like this always sits next to me when I'm watching TV because it's reliable with the K-Fun on there. I know I'm going to get a good vape no matter what. Like I said, no issues with it whatsoever besides the little paint finish or the finish on the paint. I say finish on the paint? The finish of the paint, whatever. Putting my Subtank on here, I'm going to turn her up a little bit. Have a few vapes. So, yeah, that's a good vape too. Subtank, that's the next one I want to talk to you about. There's a few. I haven't done a vlog in a while. I should have a vlog a long time ago anyways. Subtank, which we did last week, still no issues with it. The only thing, I mean, I've really noticed since the review that has changed is I didn't mention the airflow ring, which you're probably not going to be able to see, but it kind of has a little bit of play up and down in it. Not like it's a big deal or anything, it's just something I didn't mention. But it's been stellar. I've still been using the same coils. This coil has been going 2 weeks on it, and it's still great. I do find, though, if I do crank this past or around 30 or higher, I get dry hits. Or I get near dry, scratchy hits. And it could be because I'm using a higher VG juice. So I'm going to try to put some 50-50 stuff in here and see if that will remedy it. But I'm going to put the rebuildable section in here. I find the rebuildable section actually does wick better. That, again, it's just my opinion. Maybe it's because I know how to wick it now. I find that it wicks more efficiently. I see a lot more bubbles from the rebuildable section than I do from this guy. But I find at 22 to 25 watts is perfect. I don't get a dry hit at that level. I am just drinking water right now, by the way. It's too early for me to be drinking. It's only 3 o'clock out here. Let's see. So, yeah, I intend to get some OCC coils for this. OCC coils. Some temperature OCC coils for this Subtank and try it out with this and see how that works. I do want to do that. Maybe that will make me like the temp feature a little bit better because I don't have to build. I'll just slap a coil in there. I'll be good to go. I hate building with nickel, so maybe that's what's being the downer with temp control. But I think I mentioned in another review about the lack of information on the DNA 40, to be honest with you. I had it pulled up and I was just reading through. I'm trying to find info on it. There's like no build instructions with nickel wire. There's nothing telling you how to put a build in there the proper way. You know, if you should do microcoils, if you shouldn't do microcoils, if you should put them around a screw head or in a screw hole. I've seen Rip go in detail with some very good info on how to build on it and how he recommends you build on it. But that's all the info I got is from other reviewers saying what they know about it. So there's very little information, and as a manufacturer, you should have as much info on this. People should not be guessing when they get a product. Like when I got this, I said, all right, how am I going to build these nickel wires? I had to go pull up a video. I couldn't find anything on it. I had to go pull up a YouTube video on somebody building with nickel. just so I could know, you know, make sure the atomizer is cooled. You have to make sure it's cooled before you put it on there. You don't want a hot coil when you're starting temperature control. So lack of info on that is very, very bad, honestly. Very bad. They need to get some straight up info on it. But they are releasing a new board, actually. I just saw they're releasing a... Where is it? Oh, a DNA 25 with temperature control. So that's going to be for somebody like me that probably doesn't like to vape at such high wattages all the time. And you want to get the temperature control feature, you'll be able to get it at a lower price. The board is only $39.99, and I know the DNA 40 temp control is $59.99, so it's a $20 cheaper board. Haven't seen any modders put that in anything yet, but I'm hoping that will lead to some cheaper devices. Maybe some DNA 25 with temp control, cheaper, you know, just cheaper devices overall. And maybe more people will be able to get their hands on this temp control stuff, and there'll be more opinions and more reviews and more data on it, per se. So we'll have more info. I wouldn't mind getting a DNA 25 temp if the price was reasonable. I actually would like to get a DNA in a tube mod. I miss my tube mod sometimes, but box mods are great, but still, I do miss my tube mod sometimes. So I'd like to get a nice regulated temp control tube mod. Would be pretty cool, actually. So yeah, maybe like an Oaken will use this board. Maybe because it's a more affordable board, they'll put it in some devices. Who knows? But it's nice to see that there is. I know they're not going after power whatsoever. They seem to be trying to go with functionality over anything else. Not that there's anything wrong with that whatsoever. There's going to be high wattage devices and low wattage devices that, you know, and everybody's going to be happy with the variety. That's it on the Vapor Shark. I don't know. I'm just rambling on. You probably don't even understand what I'm talking about anymore. What else do we gotta look at? Oh yeah, the Sigelei 150. Sigelei 150. I think I did that one 2 weeks ago. Let's get a dripper here. Let's drip. It's my Lancia clone. I'm gonna put on here. Let's see. What do we got here? 0.4 ohm build in this Lancia, dual coil, micro coil, 7 wraps of 24 gauge. Let's bump up the power. I've been liking this 0.4 ohm around 45 to 50 watts. Let's chuck her around 48. Let's drip some juice so we don't get no dry hits. And while I'm doing this, let me say, I've had no issues with Sigelei 150. I've had nothing come. Well, yeah. I guess I've had one issue, which I'll explain here in a minute. Get these coils wet. Running out of juice here. All right. So I've had one issue, and that's the readout. These China mods and their ohm reading sometimes. I don't know. When we have vape, and we'll talk about that. I just turned it off, so I guess we'll talk about it now. For some reason, it likes to jump between an ohm, not an ohm, a 0.1 of an ohm. So sometimes this atomizer itself will read 0.3, sometimes it'll read 0.4. And it will just go between it. It changes my voltage, obviously, because the wattage is based on your ohms, which is what voltage you get. So yeah, and it's been happening with the Lancia, it's been happening with the King or Subtank. Sometimes it's a 0.5, sometimes it's a 0.6. So it keeps doing this up down of a 0.1 ohm. So you know, it's not a huge con. It's not a big deal, really, whatsoever. I think it's a little off in its reading, is all. I don't think it's as accurate. I thought this was a 0.3 ohm, but its reading majority of the time is a 0.4 ohm. But regardless, I can't really be mad at this device. This device is just good. I mean, it's great. Get tons of power, simple, elegant, you know, box mod, 2 18650s. No issues with any of the buttons. No buttons getting stuck. Oh yeah, I did hear about the old one. I asked around a little bit. I got some info. And I also saw Grimm's video that said his 100, his button was getting stuck. It was just getting stuck in there. So I have a feeling that was one of the major issues. They switched to this black style whatever button here. because this one is great. It does not get stuck. It has had no issues. You know, fires every time. Yeah, fires every time, no issues. Not even with the plus and minus buttons, no problem. So that's why they switched off. They were having issues with the old button. And actually, I believe this button, from what I found out, is actually cheaper to Sigelei. It's a cheaper button. It's an in-house button. So that's, you know, what I know about it. That's why they changed the button. And now that I've been using it over and over, I've really grown to love this button, grown to love this device, and I cherish it because this is my mech right now. I mean, I use this instead of all my mechs. Not that there's anything wrong with mechs. It's just easy. There's, you know, spring load 510, screw anything on there. Everything seems to fire. Adjust up to 150. Have a vape. So this thing hasn't changed. I still love it dearly. I'm using some Moon Mountain Vapor Maximum VG juice in here, some Captain Jack. It's just really good. I think I said that in the review. So, yeah, nothing bad to say about that whatsoever. I think that's everything. I may have forgot something because there was a lot of stuff I looked at recently. But basically, this with the K-Fun V4 clone, I use every day, and the Sigelei 150 with the Subtank and the Lancia. I pretty much go between those two. I actually want another 150. I really want to get the red one. I really want that red one. I'm waiting for a sale to happen, but I really want the red one and pair that red one with the Subtank and the red O-rings and maybe get a red drip tip for it. Red's my color if you haven't realized. I am a Bulls fan, and yeah, that's their color, so that's my color too. Stay. Subtank, stay. So, yeah, that's the follow-ups on all the items or products I reviewed recently. Just want to, you know, update everybody on what is going on with those products and if the reviews have changed. So, for the most part, not really. The next thing I want to talk about is, oh yeah, what I'm going to be looking at next and what, you know, this is how it usually works in my realm of reviewing because I do everything for myself. So at the end of every month or close to the end of every month, I order, you know, my stuff for the following month to review. So this weekend is that time where I'm now browsing and looking at vape gear and what's new and what's cool and what I want to review for you guys on this channel. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I've been just looking at different things recently, and I'll have a whole batch of stuff in for the beginning of what's next? March? Yes, by March 1st or whatever, around that time, I have another string of items to review for the month. So the things that I have been looking at, and you can give me suggestions because I do this channel for you guys, not for myself, really. So give me some suggestions of what do you want to see me look at? What is interesting to you? What looks cool? What is on your mind? What do you want to purchase? What do you want to know about? That kind of stuff. The things that I've been looking at, one of them that I really want, I don't know if I'm going to get it, but if I do get it, it's the Tan Mod by Lost Vape. If you guys haven't seen it, you can Google Tan Mod by Lost Vape. It's a wooden box mod, 35-watt box mod, but it's a unique wooden box mod. It's made in China, actually. It's very expensive for a China mod, though. That's the only thing that gets me. It's $129 on VaporTechUSA.com. But it's very nice. It's got the top trigger button, so you kind of, and it's got like these cutouts, so your hand just sits in there, and then you fire it up here with your thumb, and I really like that. It seems like a comfortable vape or a comfortable device to use. So I've been really looking at that one. What else? The eLeaf iStick 50-watt. I still love my 20-watt. I use this every day. This exact setup is what comes with me to work every day. It's just great. I even put a little tiny drip tip from Vapor Shark on there. It's great. So yeah, the iStick 50-watt is very intriguing to me. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I'd like to take a look at that. Atomizers. Yeah, the marquee atomizer, obviously the clone because the authentic is like $150. Even though I really do like that atomizer. Not many rebuildables stick out to me nowadays. Because they all are just so... There are two different kinds. There's really airy kinds, or there's, you know, creative kinds. They're using special things like the Marquee with its special well and stuff like that, and building tools that come with it. The other one is the Eric, which is a really airy atomizer, which is cool. I'm looking at that clone. These are obviously clones I look at. The only reason I look at clones is because that's what I can afford. What else was I looking at? Ah, there's that one. What's that other one called? I don't know. There's another one. I can't remember the name of it, though. The Delta 2, that's something I'd like to look at. I don't know, though, if I'm going to purchase it or not, but I've been looking at the Delta 2. That Coil Master Kit, I'm definitely getting one of those to look at for you guys, because that is, it seems like a very nifty building tool. And like I said, the IPv4, I don't know if I'll be buying the IPv4. It's just another box mod that goes up to 100 watts, to be honest with you. What else was I looking at? Where was I? Yeah, that's, you know, what I've been looking. Oh, there's, where's the website? I had it pulled up, too. Not coming soon. Where'd it go? There it is. Come on, computer. Come on. There's a, an atomizer called the Mellow Atomizer by eLeaf. The same guys that make the eLeaf iStick 20, 30, 50, and 10 watt. They made a sub-ohm atomizer. It's called the Mellow, and it's affordable, at least here on vapenw.com. They have it for $19.99. It's getting great reviews on their site, at least. It's got adjustable airflow, 0.5 ohm coils, 20 bucks. Looks like a great price. I wonder how good it is. The coils look very similar to the, not the Atlantis? Yeah, the Atlantis from Aspire. They look very similar. Looks like a nice atomizer, though. Looks very similar to the Atlantis, but looks like a nice atomizer for 20 bucks. Yeah, I would like to look at that and see what all the craze is about that one. There's a lot of these sub-ohm ones coming on, since we're on this subject of sub-ohm. But, I mean, that real quick was what we're thinking of, what I'm thinking of getting for next month's reviews and whatnot, and month after, and whatever. But, yeah, there's a lot of Subtank things coming out right now, especially sub-ohm tank with pre-built coils, whatever. I've been showing some guys at work, and they're very interested, and they're like, oh, that's cool, and I hate building, and, you know, it's nice that there's an easier way to get clouds for those that are chasing those clouds. There's some other ones, too. I don't see it on this website, but there's the Mellow. There's two other ones that I know of, and then there's the Subtank, there's the Delta 2, there's the Aspire Atlantis, there's tons of them. But I hope all these Chinese companies have not now moved into the realm of massive airflow, low ohms, lung hits and stuff like that, and have forgotten. I hope they have not forgotten about the people that do like, you know, atomizers with normal airflow. Not saying that the other airflow is not normal, but, you know, tighter airflow and, you know, flavor atomizers, flavor tanks and stuff like that. Like me personally, this is just me personally. I know a lot of people that all they do is lung inhales, and they're satisfied with that, and that's completely fine. Everybody vapes their own way. Me, my favorite way to vape is the K-Fun. Right now, oh god, it's too high. Had it at 20-some watts. My favorite way to vape is a K-Fun at around 12 watts. And mouth inhale. A mouth to lung. It's just more satisfying to me. The throat hit I get off a mouth to lung inhale is just more satisfying than a lung inhale. I feel like I don't get the same thump from doing a lung inhale. I feel like the thump's out here, and when I do these, the thump's like right in the throat, which is, you know, why we like smoking. Why I like smoking, at least. That satisfaction, that feeling of that nicotine hitting your throat saying, hey, I just punched you in your Adam's apple, bitch. This is nicotine. So I just hope China hasn't forgot about the other people that do like to do mouth to lung inhales. And for the newbies, because, you know, most guys that are quitting smoking are not going to be buying this. They're not going to be buying a Subtank with a 0.5 ohm coil taking huge lung inhales, because they're not. I didn't start that way. Nobody started that. Well, I shouldn't say nobody. I'm sure there's some people that did. So that's all I'm saying. The goal is to get people off cigarettes, so we need to focus on that. And yeah, all this other stuff is freaking awesome. It just makes life easier. But, you know, we'll see what happens, because China, when they get set on something, they get set on something. They're in this high wattage craze now. They're in the mini boxes like the IPV Mini. There's Sigelei Mini. There's all these mini boxes. The E-Leaf set that one off, and everybody just copied it. And we got all these mini boxes. Now China's on the temp control and the sub-ohm tanks and all that. So we'll see where this market's going to end up going. But I personally prefer my mouth lung inhales. And I do like lung inhales. I just, it's not something I do all day long. I just do that when I'm home relaxing. But that's, like I said, it's just me. That's just the way I like to vape. Everybody vapes differently. So I think that's all I got to cover. There's really no drama to talk about. I try not to talk about it too much because everybody else, I've seen all this crap going on about reviewers not commenting. Like when somebody will comment on a YouTube page asking a question, a reviewer doesn't comment, especially the bigger reviewers. I'm not mentioning names because it has nothing to do with them. It's just people bitching basically because they don't comment back. I could only guess what it's like to be one of those guys that has millions of emails coming in every day with questions from everybody. I mean, everybody. How are they supposed to answer all the questions? People need to calm down. Me, I try to answer them the best I can. I think I answer a majority of them, unless they're really stupid. There's no stupid questions. Some people just say dumb things that don't warrant a response. It's not even a dumb question. It's just a dumb statement. Yeah. So, anyways, that's really the only thing I've seen that's going on. People bitching about it. I saw Rip Trippers had a video about it, and he just basically told people off, which was awesome because, you know what? People have lives, okay? People that do this for you guys, and they don't, it takes a lot of time. It does take a lot of time, especially I could imagine for the other guys. Maybe not for me. It only takes me a couple hours, once or twice a week. And it's nice. I get to vent. I get to talk vape. I get to do what I like to do. So I'm fine with it. But besides that, I think that's all I had to talk about. So we'll see what this month holds as far as reviews. Of course, some interesting stuff, I'm sure. Some giveaways next month because I got to get rid of some of this stuff. Not this stuff, but some stuff I have built up. Just have stuff building up like crazy. I got to get rid of some of it. So I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to go make some steaks for dinner today. I'm going to have a few beers. I got a Bulls game on tonight. It's going to be overall Good Friday. And probably the same tomorrow. Drinking, eating, watch another Bulls game. Relax. Anyways, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Hope it was informational enough. Hope you got something useful out of it. If anything, a good chuckle out of it. And then until next time... Which, by the way, I don't know if there will be... Oh, yes, there will be a video next week. It won't be a review. I should have said this earlier. I'm going to be... Where are you? Where'd it go? Too many tanks. There you are. I'm going to be showing you how to rebuild the stock coils on the Kanger Subtank next week. It should be a short video. I'm going to post that sometime next week. It might not be on Friday. It might be in the middle of the week sometime, but... That'll be next week's, and then I'll just be waiting until I get all my new stuff in, and then we'll start the reviews all over again next month. So that's it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I don't know if I said it already, you can click the subscription link down here in the corner if you want to hear more from me. And then until next time, live well and vape on.